y'all, welcome back. Let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. Spirit, what does the collective need to know and be made aware of? Pure Divine World Light only. Anything else in that leave now, you're not welcome to. I call on my ancestors, spirit guides, higher self, holy angels for message interpretation. What is it that their ears cannot hear and their eyes cannot see? Please give me that wisdom to be able to help someone on their journey, provide them with clarity and support and healing by way of messages from Divine Holy Spirit. Thank you. Y'all, that's the same prayer I make every time, but I just did it on camera for some reason. All right. So, Spirit, what do you have for the collective? Just want you to know that you're protected as well as myself. What do you have for the collective, Spirit? And I'm being led to say that even those of you who are doing dirt, right? You still have some level of protection as well, but you know, you can't escape karma, period, point blank. There's no escaping that. All right. Look at that Tower, first card out with authority too. All right, that one's wanting to come out. Let's let that one slide. All right, this is for the collective. So any Pisces out there, Pisces, I don't want to skip over you, but I wanted to know if you were interested in a reading. If not, then I'll keep going. But I say that because I had a little misfortune with the sign of Pisces once upon a time on my channel. So what I was saying, I meant no offense, but a lot of people came in uproar. I guess maybe they felt targeted. I don't know. Perhaps I ruffled some feathers with what I said. But I said that it could be my last Pisces reading, and it could not. I mean, you know, possibly, but I said it in a manner like, hello, wake up. Are you out there? Like, you're in danger. Are you listening? I'm trying to get you the message. That was a whole energy behind, you know, my sentiments. But some of them said, oh, you shouldn't, as a tarot reader, you shouldn't be blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe this is my last reading for Pisces. But I'm just saying it's been some months that have passed. So I'm just kind of checking in because, you know, the clock is ticking because I go by the moon energy with the zodiac reading. So Pisces, you know, as the clock is ticking toward, you know, the next sign, I want to just check in and see if you would like to have a reading or not, because I can totally keep going. And I mean no offense, but if I'm not going to be welcomed, then I'll just, you know, carry on. Anyway, y'all, thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions. We have the cards out here. I just felt the need to say that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dive in and understand what this High Priestess reverse energy is all about. So, you know, the High Priestess has to do with that knowing, just that guidance that comes from, you know, realms all around us. It's just that inner knowing, you know. But I'm hearing inner conflict, something about conflict as well as I say this. Y'all give me a moment. Let me tap in and see what's going on with the High Priestess reverse. So this might have something to do with readers, because readers almost came out of my mouth earlier when I was being guided to say what it was that I was saying. I wanted to add readings to some part of that. So, when I was saying you cannot escape your karma, right? So this is possibly going to be a specific reading for, you know, those tarot readers who know that they're protected, or whatever divination it is that you do. You know that you're protected protected, but maybe for some reason you feel that the rules don't apply to you because you're quote unquote helping others. But then, I was led to, remind you by way of me saying you can't escape karma. So, why even bother trying to spoil, things for yourself and others? Well, it would be spoiling things for others for your benefit, but why would you set yourself up like that? I'm not understanding that part. So don't shoot the messenger. You know how this game goes, right? We get what we deliver what we receive. So right now, that's what I'm receiving and I'm delivering. But it's one thing to have, those gifts from spirit, to be able to, look beyond the veil and, go in and grab information however you do it, by way of dream state, divination, shells, mirrors, pictures, whatever, is your calling, right? There's something coming up about deception, but it's not, I feel like you really are clearly channeling, right? Clearly. But there is deceptive intent by way of possibly where the messages are coming from, who you're channeling from is how this is coming through. Because I'm just seeing like if I could say the iconic devil character, like the red skin with the horns and the pitchfork and the goatee beard, they're holding their hand and kind of whispering in someone's ear. So, it's like, check your resources or your source for that purpose or matter. I never knew that I would get into this kind of energy because, I figure that we're all out here helping the greater good move along to a higher vibration. It's, my hopes, in my little Wizard of Oz fantasy thinking that's what we're all doing. This, to me, this doesn't have anything to do with, well, it has everything to do with personal gain, right? But it doesn't really have a lot to do with money. I feel like it just has a lot to do with clout, right? Because, those people, the more, people you have hanging on to what it is that you're saying by way of subscribers, by way of likes, by way of, your popularity, that's what's fueling this. But I'm hearing that it's unhinged, or it's becoming unhinged. I feel like it's already there. But possibly it has a potential to kind of come crashing down. And that's possibly what this Tower card is going to be all about once I get over there. But I'm already picking up, of course, energies here. But let's kind of talk about it here. But that was just all bottom of the deck energy here with this High Priestess reverse. All right. Now, the whole thing with divination, I may not ever reach the ears of this person, but I know how this thing works. So there will be, others who will carry the message along by way of, their channeling, because it's in the atmosphere. So if I come across another reader who says this, my first instinct is, oh, they got the nudge too. Because, it's just legitimized that way. So to me, no one can ever accuse anyone of copying another spiritualist. Like one spiritualist copying another spiritualist kind of sounds strange to me. I feel like one may be inspired by another, but to accuse someone of copying them, that's like that's like you're discounting yourself. I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I do know why I'm saying it. But I don't know who it's for. They may not ever hear this. But again, the message gets carried along. It's dropped in someone's spirit. And then hopefully, if who I'm speaking about now, those practitioners who are just clout chasers, right? They just doing it for clout. It doesn't really have anything to do with money. For me, it feels like popularity. So for those who are looking for that, you know, because it helps, I guess, legitimize them as a person, to where they can kind of show that like a credit report, like, look, here's all my followers, like, look, it's right here, you know, whoever it is that they feel they need to show this information to be able to pass, or whatever that is. So it's a little bit more than bragging rights, because it helps them feel like they've achieved something when possibly they haven't really achieved much at all, like to the standard of where they are now. All right, y'all, let's get into the message here. All right, so we have the World card. So I know that this is supposed to be this way in regards to the person who is the divination artist, and you know, they're using their gift to help others, because at the end of the day, that's what they're doing, and that's what they recognize, that that's what they're here for with this world card here. But let's see what's going on behind this energy, because up front, you know, I'm looking at the placement of everything right now. Up front, it looks really good. Like I said, if that's their resume, they're able to show people, you know, what it is, how many followers they have. You know, it's like when Twitter was first getting started, everybody, you know, to be somebody on Twitter, you had to have like the seal, like the blue check or whatever. I don't even know if people really care about that anymore. But once upon a time, it was like a high standard sort of thing. So this is like high standard energy. I feel like this is how they're able to get in so many doors, you know, to be validated. I keep getting like an apartment building or a high-rise building, like with the big windows, and it's, you know, the natural light is coming in. So to me, it looks like they're in a very well-to-do, upscale type of residency or community. But if it weren't for divination, they wouldn't be there. They would have never achieved that status, which is fine. But at the same time, it feels very like I need to keep this up. So in regards to that energy of I need to keep this up so I could pay this rent, so I can do this, I can stay in this luxury lifestyle, I can still be validated by the number of subscribers and the views and the platforms I'm on, because I'm helping people at the end of the day. But then, you know, it gets a little murky because it's like, okay, so what if all of a sudden the subscribers start to fall off? What if you start losing, you know, that clout that you basically are obtaining? What if it comes to, you know, that viewership dropping? Then what? Are you going to turn on your subscribers and maybe start falsifying, or maybe just, you know, start believing that, you know, I'm the higher power, look what I made happen, I did this, instead of, you know, your humble beginnings where you were relying on Holy Spirit? But then it becomes about you and what you're doing, and what, you know, what it is about you that makes you so great with what you're doing. You know, that's where this is headed. High Priestess reverse. Now this, if you're still here, you know that this is a specific message. But if you've kind of cut through the video, I just want to say this is for those who practice divination arts. All right, so what we don't see coming behind this world card, you know, because the appearance looks really good. Yeah, I see you. You got, okay, you doing big things, right? If you were talking to this person, whoever this is, but let's see what's behind this, what you don't know. Look at that. Seven of Swords energy. And then the Temperance card, balance. They were both on their side, though. So, you know, the Seven of Swords energy is definitely always having, I'm hearing conspiracy. So always having like a technique or a way out is really what I was picking up before it even happens. So if we're having a plan before something happens, that means that we're trying to escape some sort of demise or some sort of downfall. So that downfall, what I mentioned earlier, would be possibly losing that attention, that clout that you've built up with this Seven of Swords. And then what are you going to do to try to get it back? Because this is the only thing you've ever really been great at. Truth be told, if we could be honest about it. And this is not to shame you. This is hopefully to redirect you. With the Temperance card, that's balance. You always have to maintain this balance. No matter what, or it's going to come in and re-maintain itself in your life. And that's when I mentioned the karma kicking in. Like, you can't escape karma. So whatever you're doing for these views, for this clout, especially if you're going against someone's will while doing it, that's where you're imbalanced right now. And if it's carrying from the me, I, me, and not what it used to be, Holy Spirit, God, universe, you know. Remember I told you the devil's whispering in your ear. Who are you getting this information from? Did it cross a line to where when, you know, the ego got really inflated? Did you cross the line at that time to where you were just, you know, dependent on anybody to give you information? And not, you know, going through your proper due diligence and your protocol before you pull out and lay out a single card. I hope you don't feel I'm chastising anyone, because that's not what I'm doing, or that's not my intention. I'm really coming from a place to where I'm just being open to Holy Spirit, to be that willing vessel to deliver whatever messages need to be said at whatever time for whoever is going to be listening. That's going to help them on their journey. Maybe that's why I said that prayer out loud, because I told you I don't ever really do that on camera like that, but today I did. It wasn't planned. I just got in the shuffle of doing things, and it just came out that way. So nothing on my end is ever coincidence. At least I never acknowledged, oh, that's just a coincidence. That word doesn't even live in my vocabulary, because I know everything happens for a reason. Everything. Good and bad. All right, y'all. We have the Ace of Wands over here to the right. So, you know, you're in divination. You know, you recognize a new beginning when you see one, is what I'm understanding. But however you're going to take to that new beginning is what's on the balance beam right here, because the card is sideways. So this is either a new start in the right direction or a new start in the opposite direction, which could be the left-hand side. If you choose to work in the dark, that's not what this is about. This is about doing the right thing regardless. This is where you're supposed to be taking a back seat to the divine. The divine is the one steering the car. You're the messenger. But if you're trying to take over the role of the divine, then that's going to be a big issue. It's going to be a big problem, because you're setting yourself up for a huge disaster, huge failure. All right, the Two of Pentacles is here. So, you know, I did mention about, you know, I'm assuming that with so many followers, subscribers, comes the attention, comes recognition, comes favor, comes a lot of stuff, because that's your resume. That's your look at what I did moment. So when I had the energy of you showing someone your phone and scrolling, showing them, you know, what you have obtained, what you've built, it means that you're wanting to get something to be able to help you maintain financially, help keep the balance. So this is constant decisions. So what are they decisions about is what I feel is going to be here. Because I'm already thinking, is this a decision about, should I keep going this direction with, you know, what I've been doing, or should I derail over into this direction and do something a little strange for some change, because I got to stay on top. Let's see what's here. Look at that. Three of Swords reverse. This is, I gotta stay on top. I don't like it when I don't have what I want. I don't like that feeling. Any possible way I can hurry up and come up out of this depression, because I'm depressed when I don't get a certain amount of likes or follows or whatever. That's being determined here with this Three of Swords. Like, no, I don't like it over there. I need to, I need to go ahead. Let me go do a reading. Let me do a reading is what I'm getting. So even if you're not called to do a reading, it's like you force a reading. So could this be abuse of your gifts? Are you abusing your gifts is the question. For clout? Or are you abusing your gifts because you think that that's the way to maintain this lifestyle that you have now, this notoriety, this attention? All right, maybe you've not had anyone, tell you this because maybe you've cut off people, or maybe your perception is people are jealous. Maybe that's your perception. So with that attitude, nobody wants to be around you. Nobody, they're like, you can't tell her anything. Him or her, you can't tell him nothing. So I'm just going to stay over here. Those were your used to be friends, right? But maybe you just kind of, call it as, I like to be by myself. People don't understand me. Maybe that's how you pre-reference that when you're asked about that or something. But I'm just feeling the energy of an attitude change. There definitely has been some shift here. High Priestess reverse. All right, let me move over here with this Tower energy, see what's going on with this. Hold on. So, as well as I do, the Tower just means that there's been some sort of false foundation here, that the divine has allowed someone to go ahead and build their little castle. Go ahead, build it on up as high as you can get from the ground. Right? Because you want to be up there in the clouds. You like it up there where it's high. But how you going to get down? Or what if I just pull you down? Because the tower has to fall. That's just divine or ordained activity, energy. It has to come down. So this is possibly literally on the table in regards to whose ever energy that I'm talking about. You already see that there must be some sort of scarcity, some sort of dire need. There's something going on that has you a little shaken. You're shooketh about something potentially crashing down. So with this activity, this energy, this understanding of knowing that this is potentially about to take place, what is it that you're thinking or doing? What actions are you taking to try to prevent this from happening? Because it's going to happen, but it's for your good. But I guess the adverse responsibility of that is trying to not make it happen, even though it's destined to happen. Trying not to make it happen, or trying to do what you can. That Seven of Swords energy, trying to like make plays ahead of time. Like trying to derail this divine organic happening of a tower falling in your life. Because you're the High Priestess. But in the reverse, you're not really tapped in to understand really I'm hearing inflated ego. Like ego just been all over this reading here. Let me see what's on top of this tower, because that's going to explain everything. All right, so Six of Cups. So this has to do with acknowledgement. This has to do with taking it back to your humble beginnings and realizing what really should have been the main thing here, or the main person, the main player, which was not you. It was never you. You're the messenger. You're tapped in, but right now you're tapped into the losing team. It's not the home team, right? You're playing for the away team. They're not welcomed here. So this Six of Cups just lets me know that, you know, I mean, everything that I just said, you've been pulled away from all things natural. Like the innocence of it. This could have to do with family. Maybe you're just able to now finally be independent from the naysayers, which would be AKA your family members. The ones who trashed you, dogged you, talked about you, laughed at you. But now you're able to say, oh, why don't you come visit me? Oh, never mind. The doorman would never let you in. I mean, I'm just feeling this very smug attitude. But careful. Tower's coming. These are the same people you might have to ask if they have a spare bedroom that they could let you stay in. So y'all, this wasn't an attack. Definitely not an attack, but just maybe kind of something to kind of bring you back to center to realize, hey, that might be me she's talking about. You know? Perhaps it just might be you. I don't want to see... I mean, you could be on here later talking about, oh, I gave up tarot and gave my life to whoever. You could be that person. But let's not get to that extreme to where you felt like you had to abandon your gifts, you know, based on karma, because karma was coming, because karma showed up to balance things out. But you know, I make light of those people who say they gave up divination. That's your God-given gift. Why would you give that up to go to a religion? That doesn't, I mean, the other way around I can understand because that's my testimony. But to go from the ground, the foundation to like, you know, I don't know, y'all, like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, again, y'all are probably going to call me judgmental, all of that stuff. And that's fine. I'm a Libra moon, so I can't help it. So my goal, my duty, my purpose is to help others by way of using my gift. That's my North Node energy all day long in my chart. So, all right, y'all. Just want to let y'all know where I'm coming from, but I didn't want to make it about me at the end. But I never disclose that information, but you might want to know that for some reason. But yeah, all right. That's what I have for you. Hope this helps.